Okay, it says that we are live. I'm just going to get confirmation on this. So just wait for a bit. All right, we are live. It has been confirmed. Hello, everyone. This is not going to be a fun hangout. It's going to be a lot like the last hangout, only a lot more shitty. And there is quite a lot to say about the opening statement from Kyle on the Non-Sequitur show that happened not too long ago. So the first thing I want to say, first and foremost, is, well, it's actually going to be something a little bit personal, and it's something that I had a lot of thoughts about on the drive back home from Astronomy Live's place. So I'm going to go ahead and respond to something directly. I'm not going to go into any more detail than this. I'm only going to say what I need to make sure people understand what's going on. This is a text message I received from Kyle Curtis himself. Just a heads up. Since you decided you wanted to bring my integrity into question, I haven't yet decided what to do with that whole video you sent me. May want to just be ready. I don't know if I should take that as a threat. I don't know if I should take that as a warning. But I have this to say about that. Kyle, I'm a lot like you when it comes to these things. Threats do not sway me. And let me ask you a really serious question. Will it fix your tattered reputation at this point? If you somehow, make a fucking miracle happen and destroy my reputation and convince everybody that I am a transphobe, that I'm homophobic, that I'm a racist, that I kill puppies, or whatever the case may be. If you are able to somehow make that miracle happen, will that fix your reputation? Will that change the fact that your comment section is filled with people condemning what you've done to Steve McRae? Will that fix your like to dislike ratio? I don't think it will. So keep this in mind, Kyle. You can threaten me. You can say that you're going to expose me in some way, shape, or form. Let me tell you something. You aren't the first person to try and do that. And the last people that tried to do that, the only thing that happened is I got 12,000 subscribers out of the deal. I am not going to back down due to a threat from you or anybody for that matter. The facts are going to stand whether you like it or not. So, Kyle, I say this once, and I'm going to say it very fucking clearly. Delete my goddamn number. Don't you ever attempt to threaten me again, because I swear to fucking God, it isn't going to fucking work. Ever. At any point, at any time. I hope I have made myself clear. Now, to address what Kyle said, I am going to hand it off to Steve McRae. So, Steve McRae, you have the floor.
Well, I think it's just, it's very affirming that everything he basically said tells anybody nothing, and it just confirms what I've been trying to say from the very beginning. It's so funny. He goes on Non Sequitur, and he's just very calm and cool and collected, and yet the vitriolic said things. He threatened to send you. He threatened you, and he also threatened me to send paperwork to a lawyer and try to get me on tax evasion on funds that I never received. Right. And he's telling people, oh, I'm not going after Steve personally. He said he's actually trying to do something along those lines. And we have the text for that. So this narrative that he's not trying to go after me personally is bullshit. And he said a lot of things that really bothered me, not just about me, but also with Bullinator as well. He didn't address anything with Bullinator. Nothing he said had any relevance to Bullinator about why he got, he did what he did to Bull. I was hired, and I mean this not by him hired, but I was brought on to have an opinion, to be a counterpoint, because the narrative I'm getting is that Kyle is just not the intellectual one to have these discussions with, and that's why he got me to do it. And so between my abilities in that department and his creativity, that's what made Non Sequitur great. That's what made the juxtaposition of that great. And it was a team effort. We started from the grassroots, making the podcast, getting the guest, going over questions and things of that nature, promoting it. And then he got all that software bought for him, and then he got the vmix software bought for him, and of course it added to the quality of the show because Dave, our producer, knew how to run that software, the vmix software, and he knew how to do it very proficiently. The fact that Kyle didn't like the fact that I pissed off his friends should have nothing to do with the fact that Bullinator had no bearing, nothing to do with that whatsoever. So what he just didn't want Bullinator around because Bullinator is a very loyal friend of mine, and he knows that he will go wherever I go, and he didn't want to have to deal with that, and he didn't want to have to deal with having a conversation with me or and David. He didn't want to go man up and have a man to man live conversation like we do on these discussions, right? And any of the time there's something going on in our community, what happens? People say, you know what, talk it out, go face to face, just have a discussion. That's what Non-Seq was built upon, having opinions and having discussions and not backstabbing people. And he pissed that all away. He basically threw away all the goodwill that we had built up for the channel tonight by running a spin narrative that's just not going to fly. He literally took money out of my pocket, my daughter's pocket. We did have an agreement for perpetuity, which he's well aware of that, and everybody who saw the video knows that as well. And it's a little disconcerting. I will bounce back, and I always have. And I tell you, this is not news to me, right? I know how the things go, and I stick by my guns, and I'm very grateful that I did. I will change nothing. I say what I want, when I want, to whom I want, where I want, and how I want to say it. Nobody's ever going to make me say anything different. I'm not beholden to any group ideology. I'm not beholden to any clique. I'm known for that. And one thing I do have is honor, and one thing that I associate with are people that are honorable. Kyle has no honor in this, absolutely none. And if people want to subscribe to that channel, still, they're more than welcome to. They're more than welcome to be patrons. But I have a duty and obligation to the people that have given money to that channel, for them to know that everything that was supposed to go to Bullinator and me never got there. Kyle has literally said that he's taking the entire money from all the Teespring stuff. He's taking all this to Streamlab stuff. He said he set aside money from before until now, which I have no idea. Maybe the case. I haven't seen the books. Nobody's seen the books that I'm aware of. But in perpetuity, we built the channel. That all goes to Kyle. So
Yep.
I just want to say, and by the way, I'm going to be discussing this on my channel. I'm going to be doing something on my channel with a number of people. We're going to build something on my channel. It's already being built. I mean, it's almost 10,000 subs. I live off that channel because Kyle never decided to pay me. People are changing their Patreon from Non Sequitur over to my Patreon, and I appreciate that. And the Bull got some patrons out of that. So I hope that every Patreon that doesn't want to stand, that wants to stand for something, for the fact that this was a blatant hostile takeover by Kyle. This was nothing to do with the fact that me pissing off Aaron. I mean, Aaron's a big fucking boy, for God's sake. I mean, I wanted to have a discussion with Aaron one-on-one. I'm still more than happy to. I'll take anybody on. But I hurt Kyle's friend's feelings, and that was too much for Kyle.
And that's something that I want to address in a bit, but I want to take this point by point. Now, I first would like to just state clearly and without any confusion to everyone who is watching this right now, Kyle lied to you multiple times during his original statement, and we will go ahead and go forward in explaining how he lied to you. The first thing that I noticed was that he said that the word perpetuity was never mentioned by him, and that was never the agreement. Unfortunately for him, we have a audio recording of Kyle saying that he did in fact say those words, and that was indeed the agreement. So we're stuck with a case where Kyle is disagreeing with Kyle. And that's kind of weird to me. So I do agree with one thing that Kyle said, though, and that is we should not be having a shit show revolving around Shannon Q's appearance on my channel last night.
Yeah, I agree with that. That was
all
people
this
are hostile with her for no reason.
Exactly. People should be throwing all of their disappointment and all of their frustration about Kyle at Kyle. So in doing that, I would like all of you guys to do me a favor. Let's all together ask Kyle for permission to play that audio clip. If Kyle never said those words that he agreed to 50% in perpetuity, then playing that audio recording should reveal
It doesn't matter. It's already
absolutely
public
nothing.
now. Smitty put it on his channel.
He
It's
already
already
he put
public.
it on his channel.
Yeah, it's public.
All right, perfect. So there you go. If it's public, then I say go ahead and watch it. Go ahead and watch it and see for yourself. You will see Kyle said something completely different than what was said on the Non Sequitur show this evening.
I just shared the link in the chat for everybody who wants to see it.
Yeah, it's at 14 minutes and 14 minutes and 44 seconds for 2 minutes. Matt, we can play it here. You got the ability to do that, don't you?
I would like people to be able to watch it on their own time.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll post it one more time.
I'm gonna put the whole thing
So
on my
it's there.
channel. I didn't know that Smitty had put it on his channel. There was some stuff in there I'd have liked to edit it out, and so it was. When I gave it to certain people, I told them not to make it public. Smitty did. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But
So
I do about now.
So basically, Kyle, not Kyle. God damn it, Steve, do me a favor. What is the time code that they should go to?
44 minutes, 44 seconds.
Perfect. Okay, so here's where we go from here. The next thing is this whole gradual, natural progression to where Kyle would eventually be doing most of the work, like 95% of it or some shit like that. I forget the exact wording that he used. But that, my friend, is also complete bullshit. Because here's the thing. You can't complain that someone isn't doing enough when you don't allow them to do the things they want to do in the first place, which is support the fucking channel. In the original conversation, before all of this shit went live, we gave Kyle the option of allowing us to do more work for the Non Sequitur show. Hell, we even gave him the option of taking a fucking break from the Non Sequitur show entirely. We'll run the show. We'll do the intro. We'll do the graphics. We'll do the music. We'll gather the guests, and we will still make that show fucking great. Kyle was doing most of the work because that is the only way Kyle would have it. So how is that Steve's fucking fault? I'm actually curious how that works in his head. When you do a hostile fucking takeover, you cannot blame the other person when they're not doing enough.
Yeah, Kyle had brought all those people in, right? About Katie and KC and GE and Shannon. And by the way, didn't say anything to me about any of this stuff. Never got anything on me on it. And so, that's twice the amount of workload that he was supposed to do, because we were only supposed to do, Non Sequitur 4 or 5 days a week, right? Because we were doing it every day and it was just too much. And then all of a sudden, we stuck on 4 days a week, and all of a sudden he started doing these other shows. And he said, look, I don't have another channel. I'm going to do these other shows. It won't be a big deal. I said, fine, I guess, whatever. You don't have another channel. I didn't know who it was going to be with. I didn't know what the topics were or anything like that. I thought the first Smoking Nun episode was actually me, Katie, and him. Who the fuck knew? He didn't show me any of the stuff he did for it. Nothing. I mean, so he did all the stuff on his own, which he could have done for his own channel, right? And he didn't. And so he can't just say, well, Steve, you're not doing, major amount of the work, when I've been doing the podcast since day one. I've been cutting any of that. I've been booking the vast majority of the guests till recently, until last, since like Faithless Form and stuff, where, I think this, obviously was a hostile takeover, KC and GE and all that, that's fine. I saw it coming, right? I'm not even that upset because I saw it coming. This is why I prepared for it. But I think I'm more upset for the fans and the people that have donated money to somebody that actually has screwed their partner over just like this, because I did not give him that channel to do this. I gave him this channel because he said, hey, I can do the SEO. I started that Non Sequitur show channel. I did. He did not want to go to YouTube. I made the YouTube channel. We were going to upload to it and stuff. He said, well, put it in my name so we can do more with SEO. And I didn't know that about SEO. So
anybody who thinks that Kyle got Lawrence Krauss or Landon on the show is high as fuck. They think they don't know what the hell they're talking about. There's no way that Kyle would have gotten that.
Yeah, they haven't been paying attention.
Well, one of the reasons
something that I wanted to address.
We have intelligent people on the show. I'm sorry, but I don't know what the. I mean, he literally, to my opinion, somebody mentioned it. Someone in the live chat. I think he did. I think he just did a Goddess Eye win.
This is why I wanted to make this hangout, because these are the types of claims that Kyle was making. These are types of claims that definitely need to be addressed. Kyle, the 95% claim that you are putting out there is complete horseshit. And here's the thing, Kyle, you're not a dumb dude. You're smart enough to know that. You know good goddamn and well that slowly you have been pushing Steve to the side. Whenever Steve wanted to contribute to the Non Sequitur show, you wouldn't let him. So no shit his contributions went unnoticed. You made it that way.
And Balloonator, how many times I was ready for a show when you said, "Oh, you're not on tonight"?
I lost count, to be honest with you.
So that whole narrative that Kyle's trying to spin, absolute fucking bullshit. Absolute fucking bullshit. I'm sorry. His integrity, I will call it out. You are full of shit, Kyle. You are absolutely full of shit. I was here every time ready to go on, and half the time when Kyle was like, "Oh, you're not on tonight," or the show's canceled. We'd find out 10 minutes before.
Yeah.
Or how many times were there shows where everybody were sitting and waiting, and the show would start, and then it would fall through?
Yeah, which is part of the reason I stopped watching a lot of them, to be fair.
Yeah. Now, I also want to address one more thing, and that was something that a lot of people called out in my last live stream, and that was going back to Bullinator. Because here's the thing. There is definitely a person that did a lot of work for the Non Sequitur show that is not being acknowledged. And I think we need to acknowledge the fact that Kyle definitely did not do it on his own, because I would say a big, substantial percentage of work was also done by Bullinator, David. And I can't imagine what this feels like, David, to you, especially considering the way that you've been treated. But I was told, and I think this is a good idea, that you should have, the ability to speak here. So I'm going to ask you, is there anything you want to say about the situation? Tell everyone how you're feeling. If not, that's perfectly fine. Don't feel forced. I'm just giving you the floor if you want it.
Well, to be fair, I'm obviously pissed. There were some actions taken tonight that I did not condone, and I did my best to reverse them. That was on the Discord server. Don't attack Kyle or anything like that. That's not the way to resolve any of this shit, if it's ever going to be resolved, which I don't see happening at this point. But attack we're above that shit, to be honest with us.
You speak with your Patreon and your subs.
And I've gotten 3 new patrons tonight. I appreciate them. I appreciate all my patrons, all 6 of them. So that's great. I've also had some members of the community out there who were concerned about my finances, and I told them that I did need a bus pass, and that has been covered and taken care of. So if you are all still talking about that, please, that's taken care of. I don't need to worry about a bus pass or transportation. I have a job coming up starting Monday, so I might have been taking a break anyway, so it's probably for the best. I also have another gig already. I will be producing The Geek Room, and I'm also going to be producing Red's Rhetoric's launch on the 22nd. So at this point, I'm kind of done with the whole situation. I feel very pressured. I felt very pressured to be the go-between Kyle and Steve, because I saw this coming a long time ago. As soon as Kyle stopped talking to Steve, and Steve kept asking me questions over and over again, and this has been going on for months. Mm-hmm. And I could honestly say I don't know to half the time he would ask me a question. There was a schedule, there still is a schedule on the nonsequitur.com that is not being filled out at all. No one can tell when the shows are. So that was what I used to rely on, and it used to be populated, and it used to be populated by Kyle and Steve. It's not being populated at all now. So it got really tough towards the end to produce the show, and I will be the first to admit that I actually forced Kyle and Steve to talk last night before we were supposed to go live with Red's Rhetoric, and that's why we didn't go live with Red's Rhetoric, because I forced the issue, kind of in cooperation with Reds, because Reds had already stated he wasn't going to be on the show without Steve McRae. So I knew it had to be handled before that happened.
Yeah. And part of the reason why I wanted to have that discussion is because I wanted to make it clear that I would not go on the Non Sequitur show without Steve McRae being present. And that was the straw that finally broke the camel's back with Kyle, because any show where Steve is on, that just has to be a big fucking no-no at this point in time. Chess, you have the floor here. Anything that you would want to say about the shit show that's currently going on?
Well, I mean, there's a lot going on. There's kind of a lot to say, but nothing to say. I think it was basically I think a lot of people hoped for the best from Kyle, and I think a lot of people are going to be disappointed, and I think a lot of people might actually be surprised by how terribly that was handled. It wasn't just handled like, yeah, well, you know what, fuck Steve. Not only did he not address the shit about Boole at all, he didn't plan. He obviously did not plan on addressing what he did to Boole. Like, obviously, otherwise he would have either A, mentioned it at the beginning or said something, and he said nothing. And the only reason he said something was because the Discord found out about the show. The Discord that Boole was running was listening to the Hangouts from yesterday, listened to the show, and people like Ash and David and Muppets were all in there. Hashtag, what about Boole? Because Kyle thought that people were not going to think about Boole because we don't see him. And that's arrogant as
That's
fuck.
sick. I mean,
That is disgusting.
and we were, and it was funny because Boole and I and Rez were like, the other day we're like, we were trying to salvage this. We were trying to salvage the good name for Non Sequitur, because I'm sorry, all of us put in work to make that channel reputable, right? So we can have reputable guests. I swear to God, what reputable guest is going to go on that channel knowing how toxic it is now?
Well,
Who would go on that channel? It just boggles my mind. Anybody will go on that channel as a guest knowing what Kyle has done.
yeah,
Why would they?
I guarantee you. I can confirm this. I've spoken to my series of Flat Earth debunkers, and we have all pretty much blacklisted that show. We will not be going on. But I also want people to understand one more thing. The fight to get the Non Sequitur show back on track is not over. We're still going to keep fighting.
No, it's over for me. No, it's over for me. I'm not.
Well, I think he means more like a spiritual successor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I'm going to be doing. Yeah, no. I've talked to a number of people. I'm going to be doing something on my show, on my Patreons. I get new
exactly. That's where I was
going
going with this.
Yeah, we're going to be making something. We're going to be doing something. We're going to have guests. We're going to be doing Non Sequitur 2.0, bigger and better. It may not have the fancy stuff that Kyle can do, but you know what? We'll have the conversations and the integrity to have guests on.
What fancy stuff that Kyle can do? You really don't think
David
mixes music and I'm an artist?
Hang on. Let me get this out. Guys. Let me get this out.
Because he has expensive software that helps him do.
So the fight for the Non Sequitur, I should have been more clear. So let me rephrase. The fight for the Non Sequitur show is not over when it comes to the spirit of the Non Sequitur, because here's the simple fact. The Non Sequitur that you all subscribe to, the Non Sequitur that you all supported, is dead. It no longer fucking exists. However, we can bring it back. And I'm going to be working with Steve McRae to bring some of that back and make it better than fucking ever. And here's the thing. Because I'm going to be a central figure in this, and Steve McRae is also going to be a central figure in this, I'm going to say here, because unlike Kyle, I have this thing called integrity. And with that, I'm going to say this. Steve, I say right here, right now, live in front of all these people, that no matter what happens, it will be in perpetuity all the way through, no matter what.
I'm okay with that. And if you want to do it, I don't know how we're going to do it. I mean, you want to do something on my channel? You want to do a new channel? I don't know how you want to do it.
We'll figure it out later. We'll figure it out. But basically, everything will be fair. It will not be the way Kyle did it. No hostile fucking takeovers. Nothing done without the other one being informed. Basically, the way it should have been done in the first place, instead of having basically backstabbing bullshit artists take over something that we all worked hard for.
Yeah, we're not calling it Non-Seq 2.0.
Well,
No,
why
I'm
wouldn't
just
you
saying
just?
But real quick, I wanted to have a deal with somebody on a handshake, right? I could do that with Reds. There's no possible ways Reds can ever screw. We could. It's just not even. I don't think it'd be biologically possible for us to fuck each other over at this point.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, but I mean that's the kind of integrity I want for my friends, my family, my fans. I have built up a reputation, and I've had people come after me before, and guess what? Nobody really knows how half those people are any longer. I've always gotten bigger. I've always gotten better. I've always gotten stronger. I'm going to do it again. This was great for me. I've learned a lot. I've gotten a much bigger reach than I ever had. I'm just really hurt that Non Sequitur, because I think it was a great show, just got shat on. Just literally, Kyle said, "Fuck this show. I'm turning this into LGBTQ and atheist and everything that would made the channel great. We're no longer going to be doing." And I don't know why he wanted to take that direction, and certainly I don't know why he thinks he had the unilateral power to do it. But obviously, here's the thing: I knew I was losing a lot of money by standing my principles. I've lost probably $10,000, $20,000 because I stuck to my principles. Because that channel right now was pulling in $4,000 a month,
and
okay?
and that's something that we're going to have to address now. I want to make sure that people understand that Kyle said tonight that Steve is going to get what he is owed. I'm going to have to ask him to couple words with actions on that one, because I do not believe that for a fucking second that Steve is going to get anything close to what he's owed.
I have no idea, but I have this. Ruhif has offered to check the books. Ruhif we can trust, obviously. I mean, he said he's tried to reach out to Shannon. He hasn't got anything back from anybody yet, but yeah, he wants to check over the books too, and he knows numbers. And he even said if he wants to go to a legal thing, he'll foot the entire bill. But I don't feel like suing is what I want to do. I just not. It's not worth it to me to sue. What it is worth it to me is to have Kyle's reputation flushed down the toilet where it should be at this point. And I hate speaking ill of Kyle. I really was hoping to work this out. I just can't believe that he thinks he can hostile take over a channel, say the things he said tonight, which is a complete and utter lie. Anybody who's watched the video knows what he said is completely bullshit. The clip video that's on Smitty's channel, which I'll eventually upload to mine. I don't know how anybody thinks that he has honor left. I don't get it.
It's a case of Kyle versus Kyle on this one. I do want to switch it off to some of the new people in here. So I'm going to switch it off to Ash. Ash, if you can unmute, you can go ahead and give us your opinion about the current shit show that we are finding ourselves in. Go ahead.
God damn it! You caught me right when I was in the middle of eating something.
Yeah, I'm kind of a shit like that.
I noticed.
You know what? I'm gonna put it on my Amazon for new headphones. I will have somebody help me with that, maybe.
Yeah, your headset looks worse than mine, Steve.
Yeah, you know what? I think I might actually take people up on their offer for that.
Mine has more electric tape than anything.
Yeah, this thing. I love this headphones, but it's just
Yep.
It's broken on one ear too.
So what you gotta say, Ash?
I'm honestly more worried about Bull in this entire situation. He's the one I've been worried about the most. And I lost my wrench on Non-Seq for spamming the hashtag what about Bull? And I regret nothing.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah. What about Bull?
What about Bull?
I regret nothing. Also, if anybody saw me making a weird gesture, I'm sorry. We had guests and they just let in a whole bunch of mosquitoes, so they keep flying in my peripherals.
Yeah, gas or guest?
Guests.
Oh.
As my door is that way.
Yeah, and moving, that's something, and I would very much like that hashtag to continue to be to be shared on Non-Seq. So if they do go forward with the show, and they are going to go through with this hostile takeover, and basically fuck Steve out, we should not let them forget about how they did Bull in this, because
I agree with that.
That's bullshit right there. What they did to Bull. That's complete fucking.
Hashtags on Twitter.
Hashtags on Twitter.
With a question mark.
Oh yeah, hashtags on Twitter, hashtags on the fucking live stream, hashtag in the comment section, hashtag the absolute shit out of it everywhere.
Do I have the blessing to go forward with that? Because
Of course. How could I say no?
Steve, is that okay with you? Bull, is that okay with you?
Yeah, no, Bull is my look at. We're Bull's biggest fans. I mean, Reds and I and Bull,
No,
we've
it's
been
fine.
there for each other like no other people have. So yeah.
I'll make the tweet then.
Perfect. And finally, Nicholas, I'm going to give you the floor now. What say you about this colossal shit show?
I don't know. I'm probably going to lean closer to Chesh on this and say I'm not sure there's much new to be said. I was unaware of anything that's happened in the last couple of hours, so I guess there's been at least some developments, and obviously, I don't think I have a whole heck of a lot to say at the present
Well, what
moment.
the hell are you doing here then? No, I'm kidding.
well,
I'm gonna be doing
Steve,
episodes of Nick
it
too
was.
coming up here on my channel. So Patreons, we're going to be doing more Ask a Philosopher and some other stuff we got going on.
I'm looking forward to it. I just wanted to see your beautiful face, Steve. I know it's unrequited, but it's. I will never give up.
Yep.
I'd like to
And
throw a wrench in the live chat.
sure. Also, I want to give it off to Muppets. You have the floor on this one, so go ahead and unmute and tell us your opinion.
I mean, I was kind of surprised. I kind of stay out of all this stuff most of the time. I just kind of hide in the background. But I had to speak out as soon as he started the stream. I thought it was utterly ridiculous and just a farce. It's mind blowing to me that he thought he could get away with this in a court of public opinion, because he obviously threw this out there trying to think he could get away with it.
Yeah, but did you see their faces?
Oh yeah,
They look like
yeah. I mean, I was also calling KC out the entire time.
Yeah, you know what? And by the way, I've already I don't think I ever did sub to GE. I don't watch his stuff, but don't think for a second that KC and GE weren't a part of the destruction of Non Sequitur.
Yeah, they definitely
So
were.
if you're a loyal Non Sequitur fan and you unsub from Non Sequitur and unpatreon, do remove your Patreon stuff like that, blame them.
Yeah.
They had a huge part of this, because I would have words with them, and of course they were not man enough to actually go, have a conversation with me like this, right? They would block me and unblock me and block me, and then by the way, you guys may not know, but GE many times sent me messages in private, said, "How dare you talk to my wife like this?" Blah blah blah. And I'm like, dude, why the hell are you white knighting? And he's done it to other people too. He has. And it's like, wait a minute, she comes after me. She's fundamentally wrong. I stand my ground, and I tell her how it actually is. She says I'm wrong, like her whole, Steve's wrong about knowledge is a subset of belief. Belief is a subset of knowledge. No, Casey, you're wrong. Get a goddamn education in epistemology before you go around telling people absolute banal crap like that. That's incorrect. And yet I stand my ground and I say she's incorrect on that, and I get GE messages in me going, "You're harassing my wife."
GE was in here yesterday. GE was in here in the chat, in the live stream.
I will never talk to GE ever again.
In the live stream yesterday,
You're not welcome into any hangout that I'm in whatsoever.
GE was in the chat saying, "Oh, hey, you guys are talking all this shit, but I bet you won't give me a link." Don't fucking call Reds out. He will call your bluff. Right. Are you high? What are you doing?
Hang on.
Reds gives him the link, and he bitches out, and he doesn't say a single fucking word the rest of the night.
Right, and I would have talked to him last night, but I'm done. I'm past that point now. Look at, by the way, Venix, thank you very much. Venix became a patron just a little while ago. There's certain people that once I reach a point that I will never have a discussion with them again, and Reds knows this. There's a done deal. They're just an obscurity to me any longer. I don't talk about them. I don't mention them, and I will never ever have anything to do with them.
Hang on, Steve. Steve, we have a super chat from Dangerman5 for £10, £10, and £10 again. Basically, he's saying that Steve, please thank me by name for spending $150 on you tonight. He also said in the previous, Steve and Reds need to start your own show. And then he also said that he spent $100 on you, and it was worth every fucking penny.
Thank you, so Dangerman5. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Unfortunately, the money you spent goes to Kyle, the person that screwed me. But hey, you know what? The thought that counts, right?
Yeah.
I'd rather see it go to Reds here, or Bulinator, or hopefully somewhere down the line to me, because I just lost like $20,000 by standing my ground, or more, probably even more than that.
Well, here's something that I actually wanted to say about that, and I did want to bring up the Godless Engineering KC situation and speak from experience on this one. a long time ago, I had a debate with Awake Souls and the Limitless channel. And you guys will have noticed that Gallus Engineer was moderating that particular exchange. It was Sean Hufford, it was myself, it was Awake Souls and Limitless again. Now, before that hangout went live, Casey had a shit fit because I had wanted to have Sean Hufford as my debate partner in this exchange and not Gallus Engineer. Now, KC took that as an insult towards Gallus Engineer, which it wasn't. It's just that I had already made the promise with Sean Hufford weeks before the hangout was even a thing. But despite that being the case, KC lost her collective shit on me and basically lit my ass on fire. She called me every name in the book. She was rude as fuck, said fuck you like a million fucking times, but I didn't let it get to me. I just ignored it. And then eventually, I'm sure she forgot about it. And then everything was hunky-dory and we were all laughing about it. Did I go to Kyle and say that she can't be on Non-Sequitur? Did I go to Kyle and say, I don't want to be on a show with that fucking bitch? No, I didn't. I actually didn't do that. But here's the thing. Steve does something like disagree with KC about something that is, in my opinion, really fucking stupid, and then all fucking hell breaks loose. So, Gallus Engineer and KC, I am actually going to call you out for outrageous fucking hypocrisy there. Outrageous hypocrisy. That type of shit. I mean, I'm sorry. If it doesn't work for Steve, then that shit also doesn't work for you. And I, to this day, have never gotten an apology from KC. Am I ever going to get one? Probably fucking not. But I didn't demand that you not be invited onto a show because of it. Grow some thicker skin. God fucking damn it.
Yeah, they're very, very trigger happy, very, very volatile, very, very mercurial. They get upset really, really easy. This is why I blocked Casey to begin with, because she's just incapable of having an actual intelligent conversation on any level that we've talked about on these topics. She goes in and she's very superficial. I've got many people messaging me going, why the hell is she even on there? I mean, in fact, did you not notice tonight, the first thing, then Kyle stopped talking about Bullinator, because I think the last thing he talked about, it went right to penises. That's the only thing that GE and she had to offer, to talk about dicks. That was it.
Dennis Real for $10. I'm broke, but I love you, Steve. I'm assuming Dennis means no homo there. If you and Reds are if you and Reds are really making a channel, I love it. Sign me up. By the way, have you guys heard from Fight the Flat Earth or Team Skeptic? I understand if you don't want to comment. I will actually comment on that. Fight the Flat Earth and Team Skeptic will not be going on the Non-Sequitur show unless Steve McRae is moderating. That's just the end all be all.
Not happening anymore.
And that's obviously not going to happen. So guess what? They just lost Fight the Flat Earth, and they also lost Team Skeptic. They also lost to me. They also lost Boole. Well, actually, they didn't lose Boole. They just fucking kicked him to the curb like he was nothing, like assholes.
Well, don't make him feel bad.
Well, oh no, I'm just stating the fucking truth at this point. So, but let me go ahead and get over to David, the other David, not Bullinator David, but the other David. So, David, if you want to go ahead and unmute and tell us what you think about the shit show that is currently unfolding. So, David, floor is yours if you want it, and you're gonna have to unmute if you're actually still there. No, not there. All right, sounds good. Clockwork, you are next. So go ahead and unmute yourself and tell us what you think about this this current situation, because this is kind of shit in my opinion.
Oh, I agree. This is very shit. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Sir.
Okay, cool. Well, Kyle seemed kind of to freak out when he found that there was a mole on his skin that might be cancerous. And I'm just going to tell you, since December, I've been living with a cancer diagnosis. And it's not on my skin.
Are you on chemo?
They don't know. They're doing experimental treatments on me because I didn't want to do chemo or radiation because it would be in my brain, and that'd be kind of fucked up. So
That would be bad.
yeah, that would be
Brain's
bad.
a very
Shoot.
delicate thing for that kind of stuff.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Very sorry.
Hey, I'm dealing with it, but I'm living life. Tonight's one of the rare nights I'm at home and can hear this shit. I didn't find out about any of it until today. I was like, "What the hell happened?" And I went
I'm
back and
glad
watched
you're
all
here.
the videos. Oh, hey, thank you, Ash. And I watched the videos, and I watched the one that Smitty posted, and holy shit! But you know, I
Yeah,
saw it coming too, Steve.
I don't know why he
I
posted
did.
that. Though. I wish I did want to make that public, but I didn't ask Smitty to do that, so that didn't come from me.
Well,
but-
Clockwork, I
Somebody-
definitely would like to give you the floor to say pretty much anything at this point, but I'm sorry to hear about your cancer situation. Really fucking sorry.
They're giving me this experimental treatment that is supposed to boost my immune system that
Mhm.
kind of is going to try to kill off the cancer. Maybe we'll just wait and see. But the last CT scan I had, there were shadows in the back of my brain. So there you go. Muppets don't look so sad. God damn it.
Well, I tell you what, Clock, just do me a favor. Whatever you do, do not go to Tommy Hall for any medical advice.
Oh no, I'm not
Okay.
taking B17.
Whatever you do, don't go to
No.
Tommy Hall.
Fuck some B17.
I don't mean to interrupt real quick. I just want to say this, Clockwork, as a person who survived cancer, please hit me up if you have anything you want to talk about.
Sure, thanks, man. I mean, we've been Discord friends for a long time, and
Yeah.
Bullinator and David were like the first two people who friended me on Discord. So
Yeah. Clockwork, can I ask you a question? So, you mentioned, I guess, since the cat's out of the bag now, what type of medical issue that Kyle's going. By bringing it up and that bringing up that you also are dealing with cancer, what was the point that you wanted to make with those two, bringing those two things to light?
oh well, you know, when I told a few people about it, and then that's when Kyle started calling me an angry drunk. I'm an angry drunk. Well, gee, I have reason to be fucking angry. You know.
I've seen you be an angry drunk, but you're still, when you're not, you're amazing.
Well, thank you. But I can get angry
That's not
sometimes.
sexual.
I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
I can be an asshole. I admit it. But you know,
Yep. Marty rules for $5. Here's some booze money, Steve. I follow you on Facebook and YouTube. We'll follow and support where you go. You're the reason I watch debates now. Thank you very much, Marty rules.
I appreciate that. That's going to Reds, but you know what? I don't mind that. I will have what he's going to use that $5 to go get some alcohol. I'm going to get some alcohol, and he and I are just going to hang out half naked and drink.
Oh my God, no, fully naked.
here's all around. Here's all
Please don't
around.
stream that. Please don't stream that.
Oh,
Yeah,
just
that
like-
could be dangerous.
wait a minute. Muppet, you cut out there for a second. You said stream it in 4K.
No, please don't. God, no.
Okay.
You really want to see our butt cracks in 4K because that's
Muppet,
no.
Muppet, what do you mean don't shave? Okay.
What I heard, Reds. did go out and
Muppet,
get
you are a weird guy.
Did you
Okay.
get a wax?
I mean, that's also true.
I think I got a wax a little while ago, like nut crack sack wax. Thing.
Oh,
Did you get that
God.
done?
Yeah, the back crack and sack wax.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tried to
I
sell me a
think that's going to fall under information we really didn't need to have to complete our agenda for the
Speak for
evening.
yourself. I needed that information.
He has to be informed of these
Oh,
things.
I see.
Damn it, damn it, Chess, you're abort. Okay. So anyway, Damon Advocate said, Steve, get a lawyer. That is how justice is served. Reds, OMG, you rock. I hope you'll be involved more often. Wisdom and integrity like yours are rare. Bull, much love. Keep being awesome.
So why have I been summoned?
You have been summoned because Kyle went ahead and doubled down on the bullshit and actually made some actual egregious lies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, basically he said that he never used the words, in perpetuity, which we have an audio recording of him saying that those were indeed his words. Funny how he left that out. And he also said that, listen, this was just a natural progression, but I ended up doing most of the work and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, because you wouldn't let Steve McRae in. How's that his fault? He was asking. He was wanting. He said, "Hey, you want to take a fucking vacation? Take a fucking vacation. Give me the goddamn keys to the Ferrari."
I'm gonna say if he's gonna double down on it, just lawyer up, Steve.
Well, and by the way, it doesn't matter whether you use the words in perpetuity or
Given
not.
anyways, yeah,
The show, it's about ownership of the show. If the show is 50-50 ownership, it is in perpetuity by default until they mutually agree otherwise. And if Steve fails in every single one of his obligations, every single one of them, Kyle does have recourse, but one of them is not unilaterally getting rid of him. It just isn't. There's absolutely no set of circumstances under which this is even remotely kosher.
I mean, what I want to do is first. I mean, there might be legal recourse, but there's some things I got to take care of first.
Well, on top
I do
of
have
that,
to actually pay for the law. Somebody has offered to pay for the lawyer already, so that's taken care of.
Steve,
By the way,
you
you have
might
to make
just
the
want to
super
get a
chat.
lawyer. You might just want to get a lawyer, not because you're going to do anything, but because Kyle might try to do something.
Yeah.
What can he do? He did.
Oh,
It doesn't mean
What
he's
the
not
hell
going
did
to try.
Kyle? He didn't pay me a dime for anything
Yeah,
yet.
it doesn't mean he's not going to try.
I would advise you seek legal. That's my best advice.
Steve, why don't you and I talk at some point?
By the way, you got a lot of super chats.
Yeah, we're gonna do that exactly. So, Aussie Globhead, Steve, I joined your Patreon for 100 Australian dollars. Jesus fucking
No,
Christ!
he gave you 100. He joined on mine, but he gave you 100.
That's Dangerman 5 says, I never used to like Reds, but he's a very good guy. Well, thank you. Thank you for having low enough standards at this point. I'm glad I could bring you down to my level. Thank you so much for the 10 pounds. I appreciate it.
Simon Dan, thank you. By the way, he's in the audience. But hey, give me later, Simon Dan. I kind of want to maybe do something with you one of these days too. But it's definitely is a shame.
Yeah, I also wanted to respond to something also in that Kyle said in that stream that he has gotten a ton of messages that are in full support of him. Unfortunately, Kyle seems to be ignoring the tremendous amount of backlash that he is getting on the Non Sequitur show because of this fucking stunt. So I want to bring attention to that because Kyle, simply ignoring the problem isn't going to make the problem go away.
Well, let's take a gander here at Social Blade for a second.
I already did. It's 216 last time I checked. Lost subscribers.
Well, I want to go through and I want to read the comments on the video that we did the other night and the one I did on the GDC. I was going to do that on my channel because I wanted to hang on my channel tonight. We were actually going to split this half and half, but since everybody's already here, I guess it really doesn't matter.
Yep. And also Joshua Carter for $10. Here's another $10. If we can get the live stream fully naked and drunk, Steve, ha ha ha, back crack and sack wax ? I'm choking right now. Ha ha.
Please don't.
Let me.
This was your idea. Shut up.
Fuck you. No. Don't approve.
So I'd like to point something out, which is, and this is why I said earlier, this is absolutely the end of non sequitur in probably multiple ways, and not necessarily just spiritually. The fact of the matter is that, first of all, in my opinion, and Steve can do whatever he likes, but in my opinion, this is not one of those things that you can just sort of let walk away because for a number of reasons. But if the deal's been made, the deal's been made, and you have to see it through in one way or another. The fact of the matter is that if Steve files any kind of complaint with YouTube, files any kind of complaint with Google, they usually take these things seriously, especially if you know how to file the complaint. The chances are, if Steve pushes this, even without getting a lawyer, he can get that channel demonetized in the next 24 hours. If Steve decides that he is upset with this in any way whatsoever and really decides to go forward, he doesn't need to get lawyers involved before that show is probably over. And I'm sorry that Kyle hasn't thought about that. But the fact of the matter is that Steve has phenomenal recourse. And in general, when a dispute like this happens, they shut the channel down until the dispute is handled on. They don't care. They shut it down until the dispute is handled by the people involved. And if it isn't, it isn't. So I think this probably was not a particularly wise move on Kyle's part. But Steve actually has a number of options.
You want to force Kyle's hand? That would be how you would
do
it.
I don't want to go into any of that. By the way,
that's
making
something.
some bank tonight.
we're gonna have to discuss that off air, but yeah, let me go ahead and address some thingies. Feature pick for 100 Australian dollars said, "Sorry that this happened to you, Steve and Bull. Kyle has surrounded himself with the wrong sort of people. Shame on you, GE, Casey, and Shannon Q. I love you, Reds, Team Skeptic, and fight the flat Earth." Hang on, let me just highlight one thing about that super chat. Let me just highlight one thing because it's very important. Kyle has surrounded himself with the wrong sort of people. I fully fucking agree. And I honestly think that where this all started was because Kyle was caving to pressure.
To be honest,
Kyle was caving to peer pressure.
To be honest, there's a good chance that if Kyle's surrounding himself with the wrong kind of people, he probably is also the wrong kind of people.
True.
At this point, maybe
Well,
he
I
might
mean,
not
the
have
whole
started
crowd is
that. He
they're
might not have
very-
started that way, but at this point, he is now the wrong kind of people.
They're they're very emotionally driven, and I'm not, right? And as Red says, hey, I might be an asshole to certain people, but I back my shit up,
Yeah.
right? Every fucking time. And I'm sorry they got their fifis hurt, that they weren't able to go after me like man would possibly, man versus man. If G would have fucking wanted to go one-on-one with me on anything that I've talked about, if Arn wanted to go one-on-one with me, any one of them could have manned the fuck up. But no, they didn't.
And here's the thing: I told Kyle to delete my phone number, but he's not blocked. If he asked for a link right now, I would give it to him. If GE wanted a link right now, I would give it to him. If Shannon Q wanted a link, I would give it to her.
I would for this episode. But
I am curious to see Shannon's response to this, and I do want her to take a couple of days. She was very upset yesterday, and it's unfortunate that she was so upset. But I understand why. It's unreasonable for her to be upset. It's not unreasonable to be emotional. Being emotional is
there's
fine.
a lot of backlash on her that probably was uncalled for. Now, do I think that I think that she came into the discussion last night not knowing all the facts clearly, and I want to address that if I can in a second.
We will. I will give you the floor after this. Person with an impronounceable name, but fuck it, I'm going to try anyway. Kahanha Mehim Nigawawin. That came out so fucking wrong. I am so sorry. I apologize. I'm a failure as a human being.
Yeah, you are.
It's just men, actually.
It's just Kahan Ngayan.
Win.
I don't fucking know. Okay, it's not American. Okay, I don't know. Anyway,
Racist.
How do you know he's not American? It's because of a foreign name.
Wow.
No, the name isn't American.
That's the last time we ever heard from Red's rhetoric.
It's
like what happened to Reds. I don't know. He made some completely racist remarks.
I'm sorry. No.
And he's really cool.
No. Listen, there are only two places on the entire planet. There's America, and then there's not America.
Yeah, please, let's give Reds a minute to explain his racism. Red, the floor is yours.
For the Australians that don't exist because flat Earth.
Later.
Yeah, for $50, I said to Kyle that I would not take sides. I also told you that I would be your next patron next month. It will cost me a bit more, but I am all right with it. Here is my first step to you. I hope you don't mind me sticking with you both.
Yeah, anybody gets. People do what the fuck they want. All we can do is put out the information, right? I think that what Kyle did is basically grand theft, in my opinion, because he stole tens of thousands of dollars from me. I mean, I don't know how else to look at it.
For the next one, Thomas Miller for $19.99. Reds, thanks for getting everyone together. Steve, this awesome community is behind you in Bull. You guys know we will all help any way we can. Thomas, by the way, is a cool dude, and I would very much like to have a beer with that guy one day. Ash Scott for £5 said, "If you need a lawyer, I'm a lawyer because I say so. If you disagree, you're sexist."
Wait a minute.
That's good.
Don't read too far into that. Danger Man 5 for £2 said, "Reds, how can we support Steve tonight?" Steve, you wanna plug your shit?
Yeah, I put I put my PayPal in because I don't know how you would super chat to me, but I put my PayPal in the live chat out. People have my Patreon. You can go to any one of my videos, and I have all my information. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subs. I know Team Skeptic wants to do a sub drive for me, and I know Reg wants to help out with that. But if you just want to like donate something tonight, but you know what? I'm okay. I mean, I mean, look, people are going to actually probably make this into a very big issue, and there's people who are arguing a lot of enjoyment about it, going, oh well, you know, Steve did it again because of his mouth, kind of thing. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm very happy that I am proud that I did not cater to a clique. And so, if people wanted to revel in that, by all means, go ahead.
Well, Steve, you might take this the wrong way, and I hope you don't. I'm not actually upset the fact that you're financially hurting. I'm pissed off because Kyle literally broke the law to get you out of the non-sex show.
Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. No, I think obviously he broke the law. I mean, we had a partnership that had an agreement that was in perpetuity on his own words. He unilaterally decided to go, oh well, fuck that. We make $4,000 a month now. It's all mine, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Jamari $4.99. Add one more to that unsub list. I watched the Smitty vid. Shame. Red, where's my damn wrench?
I wasn't lying about that. Everything I said was the God honest truth.
Yeah, I will get you your wrench sooner rather than later. Just hold me to
I just
it.
want to say real quick, I got a bunch of people who started following me on Twitter over all the past couple of days. And as I appreciate you guys, and I'm sending you something real quick. I don't know if you could see it while I was moving my camera around. I've been sleeping on the floor for a week and a half almost, and there's a giant ass spider right there.
It's okay. It's
You actually look over on the floor.
I'm not gonna kill him. Why would I kill him?
Is a spider in your house?
Yeah.
Ew.
Joe the graphics guy for $6.66. Hail Satan. You have all sorts of people who want to do graphics for you. By the way, I sure as hell volunteer 100% exclamation point. I sent you a message on Twitter. I'm Padme the cat. You know what? I'm going to take you up on that offer. For 50 DKK, which on this channel we call dick dollars. So for 50 dick dollars, I'm looking forward to figuring out what the fuck is going on. Take a couple of weeks off the tube, and crap hits the fan. Good luck, Clock. So Clock, that was for you. And person for $10 said, "I'm sad. We are all sad."
Well, I'm sad for non sequitur. By the way, Joshua just sent me a PayPal for $100. Thank you very much, man. We're gonna be making something on my channel, so this is gonna be going to good use. And I'm still gonna be flying Sweet Heathen out, since obviously what is it called? NunCon is a bust. They'll have all the NunCon is going to be as Fateless Forum part 2. Mm-hmm. I'll be flying her out here with that. So he says, keep your head up, Steve. If nothing else, you can at least know you're right and have amazing integrity. I'm so sorry you have to deal with the shit you do. I don't want people to feel sorry that I deal with my shit that I do, because I'm proud of what I do. I have built a reputation on YouTube for standing by my principles and being able to have discussions with people and argue with them and be convinced if somebody convinces me that they have a better argument, and convince other people. And I get messages every day thanking me for that. I'm okay.
So I'm gonna do this. Agnostic Aussie. If you tweet at me, I will get you a link into this hangout if you want to join. If you have something you have to say, absolutely. I will get you that link. Just at me at Twitter, and then I'll go ahead and get that link to you.
That was attractive.
And can I mention two things real quick, Kyle? People have mentioned this to me. People have promised a lot of stuff for the Patreon for the Non Sequitur show that was never delivered, and I don't think there was ever intention. Now looking back, that maybe that was going to be delivered. I don't know. I have some things from my tiers too that I've tell people, look, if you're a Patreon and you want to see a certain presentation, you want to do something, let me know and I'll make it happen. I've always had that standing thing. But we had things with the Non Sequitur show. People come on and be king for the day kind of thing, whatever. I never saw any of that happen. But I wanted to address something that happened in the stream last night. Shannon, who I adore, and I wish people would stop going after her. I don't think she deserves it. I think that she didn't have her facts straight. As simple as that. She was just incorrect, fundamentally incorrect. And she went on to say something that I had SSI and that he was holding my funds from SSI and all that. That's complete bullshit. I don't have SSI. I don't have SSDI. And then Katie decided to go after my veterans, which I do have, but I don't use. It's a backup. The people that are going after me for my medical, I find you to be despicable. I find you to be deplorable. I find that has nothing to do with Kyle breaking his contract to me. Why that I wanted it structured. Nobody knows who pays for my medical. Nobody, not even Reds. I've never told anybody. I didn't trust Kyle with that. So for somebody to actually say, "Hey, look, I know this is the case." No, you don't know. You don't know fuck all. But I want to point that out because I'm getting a lot of people messaging on that regard. Oh, look, Steve's defrauding this and defrauding that. No, there's nothing of the sort had anything to do with anything like that. People need to stop putting out misinformation because you know what? Ask them for facts. We're supposed to be a community of facts, right? But whenever I ask for evidence on shit, I get bump kiss.
Yeah. Well, this is why on Twitter I was actually calling them out, and I'm like, oh, you think I'm joking? Call my bluff right now. Please call my fucking bluff. Yeah, Ash.
To the people who are saying that about Steve, ask Steve yourself. Get your facts straight, please. For the love of God, I've been saying that since yesterday.
I've been saying that for 6 years. If you want to know something, come to me. If I don't want to tell you, I won't tell you. But most people I am pretty open with.
Also, if anybody cares to correct me here, none of us in this live chat are condoning attacking the Kyle, GE, Casey, or other people. Let's not
at all.
Don't harass them. Don't attack them. Don't go out of your way to be a dick to them.
That's me. But I don't go that's my nature.
I know. I'm just.
I'm not going out of my way for that at all.
I'm just saying nobody in here is condoning any of that kind of
behavior. Especially Shannon. She doesn't. She's got.
Yeah, Shannon doesn't deserve that. She was under a lot of stress. She was confused and she was tired. But I am curious to see if she does do a response. She might not, and that's her right. She doesn't have to. But
you're supposed to give me financials.
She wasn't here, and now that she has that information, I would be very curious to see what she has to say on the matter.
Yeah, I'm getting a bunch of people saying that they are mass unsubbing them, so expect that unsub number to go up. And also,
I was actually sharing that screen.
Yeah, I was watching that.
Oh wow, it just hit like 148 others plus that 216.
So holy shit.
Well,
like I said,
here's the live numbers.
Those numbers will come back pretty quick once he gets the social justice crowd, I think, and that's what he's going for.
Well, I mean,
it won't be the non-sec crowd like it is their core group because
but the main thing is that's most of your gains from the past week.
Yeah, and the thing is that's also like still your channel at the end of the day.
No, it's not. I'm not getting anything. It's not my channel anymore. He literally took over everything, including getting every dime from it.
It's still your channel.
Are you going to do anything about it at this point?
I don't know. I don't know what I don't know.
I would.
They're going to talk about that off air.
Intellectual property.
I would talk about that off air, but Stringer News 1 for $10. All good things come to an end. What comes next is what matters, and believe me, what's coming next will be absolutely fucking amazing. And like I said, we're going to make something new, something great, something absolutely fucking amazing. I can't wait for it. And like I said, just subscribe to Steve, subscribe to this channel, Red's Rhetoric. Follow us on Twitter for updates, and we will keep you guys in the loop. And unlike Kyle, I won't fuck people over if they're my partner in crime in this shit.
You won't fuck anybody over. But let me say this real quick because I know you're going to wrap it up. I'm not going to do it tonight because it's too late. But tomorrow, at the same time, Non-Sec is going live. I'm going to go live, and Reds is going to hopefully be here, and everybody else. And we're going to be on my channel, and we're going to read the comments from the videos live.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't bother to leave any comments for Kyle at all. But there's no point. I just simply unsubbed.
That's what. Yeah, I did hashtag what about Bool. And then after that, I didn't even. People were adding me in the chat, and I was like, "I'm not addressing anything right now. This is not okay."
I responded to a few people, but mostly it was just about Bull.
I'm pretty sure it was mostly just you trolling Casey.
I love these comments. These comments are just. I mean, I'm just the support because Kyle was basically, if you watch the video that's on Smitty's channel, which I'll upload tomorrow on mine, he basically said, "Who cares what people think? Let them think what they want." Because I told him, how you think you're going to get away with this kind of stuff. He didn't care. He's like, oh, you know what?
He didn't care because he's arrogant. He didn't care because he thought he would get away with it because he thinks that he's looking at the people that are around him, and 2, Twitter and nothing else.
Because the internet has a very long memory.
Yes, it does.
I've been around a very, very long time, and I've never seen, and he might survive and whatever, but I've never seen somebody be this fraudulent and survive on YouTube ever.
Well, and the SJW crowd is reasonably fickle.
That's why he probably will survive, because they don't really care as much. Their
No, but
integrity.
but they're fickle. He'll
flip on
do
him.
another. Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
they'll flip
yeah.
on him bad. He'll get another good year out of it, and then things will head south.
Now, I want people to understand something very clearly here. I have a friend, and his name is Astronomy Live. Astronomy Live wrote his own program for tracking rockets with his telescope. He wrote that program completely all on his own, and it was absolutely fucking amazing how it works. Software for everything. He has a software that is currently running right now that is monitoring the Non Sequitur Show's video where Kyle made his statement. If any comment gets deleted from the comment section, it will be saved. Period.
Look at that then. I'm gonna take a look at that server.
Finally, I got it.
Nice.
So
Well,
it will,
these comments
it
are
will be
just,
saved.
I am just the outpouring. You know what's so funny is people know I do have detractors, right? No big secret. There are people I don't get along with. No big secret. They're inconsequential, most of them. I would say the vast majority of them are inconsequential. And I told Kyle I have a lot more friends and a lot more people that respect me and appreciate what I bring to the table than he thinks. And he didn't believe that. He honestly didn't believe that. He's like, no, Steve, I made all this. You're just, I hate to say it, I'm just a fixture. I'm just some kind of like a chair to be moved around.
He's got it backwards.
Well, also
that's why he presents it.
Go
Yeah,
figure.
it's backwards, completely backwards.
Stepping in for $4.99. Thank you, Steve and Rez, for the hours of entertainment. I'm forever a fan. Slimeman Dan, you're also the bomb. And Cheshire, you're cute. Maybe you should go visit Rez in Florida and visit him in his comfy bed.
Oh my god.
Okay, $50 says that wasn't actually in the thing.
Okay,
Yeah,
I may have added that last part.
I thought it might have actually been real for a second.
Wow, guys, thanks.
I may have added that last part in, but the rest is there. I swear.
Red is a tool.
You know,
I have a couple people that wanted to come in that I did promise could come in and say their piece real quick. If anybody, I know we got to end soon. Is there anybody can make room for one or two people?
Oh, I can bail if
Yeah, fuck Nick, get him out of here.
Okay. All right, Nick, you're out, and Muppet, we will get you that 4K sweaty nude stream with alcohol.
Trust me, it's
They're asking for a link. I'm getting to right now.
Everybody hang in there. Bull, hang in there. Steve, hang in there. And look forward to chatting
No,
with you guys.
like I said, I gotta admit, I'm in a really good place. My haters and my tractors, let them revel in this. There's nothing to revel.
Yeah, this is not a victory for them.
Not by any stretch of imagination.
No, absolutely not. They got their asses kicked tonight.
I mean, I'm looking at the numbers. I'm looking at the comments. I'm seeing the outpouring of support that people are showing to me. Can I not be invigorated by that?
Yeah, you know what? We got your back, Steve. We always have. And while the other people come on into this hangout, I'm going to read some super chats. So, Esam Works, $2. Artists at your disposal, guys. See, there you go. Danger Man 5 for £10. Steve, I am your biggest fan, but don't say you need cash payments. IRS will go after you. That's something, the legality aspects are going to be discussed off air, but thank you, Danger Man. And Jake 3D for $2. Been working all day. Can we get a 5-minute recap? We will at the end of the hangout. The Geek Room, no message, but $1.99. Thank you so much, the Geek Room. And we also have, let's see. God damn, they're coming in so fast. You got porked, Steve. You got my support now for $2 by Ronnie D 1970.
Yeah, I'm watching the Patreons go up, and I appreciate it. And like I said, we're gonna be rocking it on my channel. We're having a lot. Obviously, I'm gonna have freedom now. I have a lot more shows. I'm gonna have the same time as Non Sequitur Show.
I'm gonna show up on all of them.
And Christopher M. Hansen for $5. I fully support you, Steve. If you need art, co-hosting, etc., let me know. I will be glad to offer to work for you.
Awesome.
And we also have a Valentine Strand for $2, unsubscribed. I love it. For S. Weingard, $2. She is cute, though. Winky face.
So wait, if I get Cheshire on our stream and she at least has like a quarter nipple showing, would that help my subs?
Oh, most definitely.
Is
I'll
you
use, I already told Chessar I'm going to use her. I'm just, I'm not trying to hide that fact. Why would I hide that? I know good assets when I see them.
You know,
go ahead, Ash.
You know, if I actually gave a damn, I would feel really left out.
You're married.
Not to know that there's only one girl in this stream.
Well, we can't sexualize you. You're married.
So?
Well, because
that case,
I'm kidding.
Oh
I'm
my
just
God, you've just
you guys are into it, man.
I'm just kidding. By the way, I'm just joking. I really don't.
I mean, Ash, you're about to open the floodgates, and we will.
Yeah, hey, that might be dangerous.
It
Right?
doesn't bother me. I mean,
I'm just saying, if you want to go down that way, just know that once you go in, you cannot come back.
I know. I'm just fucking with you guys.
It's like listen, because going in on this is like a dildo painted to look like a Scud missile. All right, it's not. Look, it's
I
not.
just wanted to feel included.
Listen.
Right.
It's not a weapon of mass destruction. It's more like a
I would
weapon
like
of
to
mass
point out
destruction.
real quick for anybody who's been paying attention. Look at the difference in the hosts' faces here, the people who are here right now, and the difference in the way they looked on the show
That is a
tonight
good
on
point.
Non-Sequitur.
Yeah, they did not look happy.
If
Okay.
you are not prepared.
All right, so we're gonna go down the line for the new guys.
This is what
so,
friends look like real actual friends, Nicole.
Yeah, go figure. Mr. Brass, go ahead and unmute yourself. First give a mic check.
Yeah, hi there.
Yep,
yeah,
we can hear you.
Hey, bud.
Yeah, how you guys doing? Yeah, I want to come on because I figured I could add a few things. Like, I mean, I've been unsubscribed from the Non Sequitur show for a while because I had some issues with Kyle myself before where he basically called me a racist for defending a black person. So yeah. So I haven't really been there, and this was a new level that I didn't even expect Kyle to go down. So this took me by surprise too, and I already had low expectations going into it.
Yep, and Christopher M. Hansen. Hey, welcome. So you now have the floor.
Hey, Buck.
Hey guys.
Hey.
So
that's all that needs to be said.
Yeah. I have been basically up since 3 a.m. nonstop watching this go down. So pardon if I am exhausted.
Yo, same.
Same boat, friend.
Yeah, we're almost. Yeah, you know, I mean, it feels like we're losing a family member because it's just like, you know, the Non Sequitur show was the community channel show, and we will make something very similar to that. I guarantee it. Which is going to be
Christopher. Listen, Christopher. The fact that Christopher looks like absolute ass right now does not matter. Now, if you'll excuse me as I present him to everyone, so you can only look at him. Christopher, you have the floor. No pressure.
So the whole thing, this has been particularly just mind-boggling for me because I'm exceedingly new to the atheist community for the most part. I've only been a part of here for a few months, and I got in here because of Non-Seq. I got in here because I got involved with Steve, and then I was able to get a debate with John, a godless engineer. I did not see really any of this coming. I probably should have, because I had seen Steve mention in other hangouts long before that he hadn't received a cent from Non-Seq. So the thing that's particularly troubling me right now is actually, though, the way that Kyle has been responding to this live. Because the tactics he's taking are, they're not just, lying.
Stupid?
Well, it's active forms of abuse. It's gaslighting. He is gaslighting the audience and the people involved.
Yes.
I couldn't concur with that more. That's absolutely true.
A really good point.
Yeah.
These are the like, and I hate to say this, but these are the tactics of people who are serial abusers of this kind.
Yeah.
And the fact that this has been going, and the fact that Steve has not received a dime, and from what I've been seeing ever since the channel started, and has been.
Well, Kyle admitted that. Yeah, I mean that's. I mean, I wasn't fabricating anything.
Yeah.
And did you notice one thing Kyle neglected to mention about why haven't the books been opened?
Yeah,
Anyway.
we're wanting to see the books now. I actually saw more of the books than
You
Steve
didn't
has.
see the Streamlabs. You didn't see the Patreon.
I didn't see any of that. All I saw was from the YouTube Studio app, and oh my fucking god, you guys are getting fucked over.
Yeah.
Just by that alone, you guys are getting fucked over.
Yeah, and I knew going in how much money I was going to be sacked. I knew I was going to be kicked off eventually. Let's be real here. I'm not an idiot. I saw this coming months ago, but I wasn't going to change who I am, and I wanted to see what was going to happen. And I realized that I probably will lose tens of thousands of dollars over this, but in the long run, I'm going to have my integrity. And I got to tell you, I've known from experience, your integrity on YouTube is a hell of a lot worth more than $10,000.
Yeah, and
it's a hell of a lot worth more than that.
I mean, if you guys are doing what you're talking about doing, is essentially not recreating non sequitur, but going in the direction that non sequitur was initially going before.
Yeah, we're not doing. Yeah, exactly.
If you do that, you already know it works. You already know it's going to succeed. And you already got the audience for it. So your $10,000, you're going to make it back like that.
Well, I mean,
Kyle won't be able to do that.
Well, the problem is, won't. Starting a new channel takes a while to be monetized, and that's a problem. But I will do this. You know what? I got an idea, and I'm going to talk to you off the air about it. I have a brilliant idea, actually, because I'm a lot more smarter than people give me credit for sometimes. I went to nuke school, remember? You know, people are bashing me because I went to nuke school. Yeah, I went to nuke school. What the fuck of it? I'm proud of it, you know? But I got an idea.
Hang on. We have to do this. So Athena, goddess of wisdom and warfare, please get a shorter name. For $5, when both sides accuse the other of gaslighting, how does someone figure out who is telling the truth? By playing a recorded video, which has been linked. And also for $4.99, Jen, against Steve, I wrote a monthly magazine column for 17 years. If you need a writer, DM me. Reg, where's that Reg? Okay, you win. All right, add as moderator. Damn. And listen, what Steve was saying previously is that it was inevitable. Like, you should expect it. Like, for example, if I went over to Ash's house, I would be expected to be the big spoon. It's just inevitable at that point. I'm 6'6".
If you get in my bed, I'm going to shoot you.
If Red shows up at my house, he knows he's the little spoon.
You will have an AR to the back of your head, and I will shoot you.
Chet, I thought we agreed that I was the big spoon.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that can happen, but let's be real here.
Okay.
We're talking metaphorically, right?
Understood.
This is all hypothetical.
I'm basically like a little jetpack.
There is a spoon.
Only when you have a lot of chili.
Spoon.
There is a spoon.
I ate too many burritos.
God damn it. Clock, fuck you. Now I gotta watch the video.
If anybody else wants to link to, by the way, message me. But people obviously, I think, want something like non-sequitur only.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Now, I do have to ask. I do have to get the other David in here because he hasn't said enough, in my opinion. So, David, not Bullinator. Quick question here. Now, did you see this coming? And if so, what were the signs?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it coming for a long fucking time, honestly. But more so probably shortly after Christmas.
Yeah.
Just the way things have been run, generally speaking, there's been poor communication. Has had a long history of fucking making last minute changes, dumping them on Bull, blaming people for other people's problems that are created by his own lack of getting things done, and just mostly minor frustrations, but that were never addressed and just got worse over time. Not taking feedback, not reaching out to quite some decent guests that could have been on that have good followings and shit, doctors and shit that I've tried to reach out to them about and everything. Yeah, there's just bunches of just mismanaged stuff. Yeah. But as soon as I found out about situation with some of the financial stuff. And I also know, like, knowing what's in the accounts in part, and then seeing when Bull was nearly homeless, that that wasn't taken care of immediately. Like, there should have been no problem saying, here's $2,000, you're not going to be homeless. Done. The guy's been producing the show all this time. And yeah, like the fact that that wasn't done, and instead the fucking amazing people in the community pulled together and still managed to help. But Kyle didn't do that is frankly despicable.
I would like
those
to.
people were already giving Kyle money too, or giving non sequitur money.
With underneath the assumption that Bullinator was getting some of it, and unfortunately
Yeah.
that was not true. And here's the thing, I'll tell you this right here, right now. I did not see a dime from Kyle when it came to me driving my happy ass 4 hours there and 4 hours back to rescue Bull, to have him stay at my house for 3 days, working my ass off to get him a place to stay with a friend of mine, and then asking the community to help us to get deposit and first month's rent down. My community, the Reds Rhetoric community, the Flat Earth Debunker community came through for Bullinator. And where was Kyle?
And I have to say, I am so thankful that everybody who has given to me has given to me. And Kyle has helped out here and there with some bills, etc. I'm not going to deny that Kyle has given me money. That is not the case, but is it commensurate with the amount of work done? No. And Steve has given me roughly half of the amount that Kyle has given me out of his own pocket without seeing money from the non sequitur in return. So that is very telling too.
Yeah.
And I this sounds weird, but I was happy to donate to Reds as well. I believe in paying it forward when Reds has his car accident, car thing.
Oh god, I'm now graced with the with my new car, which has been nicknamed the Lamborghini.
Nobody in their right mind would ever say that I do this for the money, for greed or anything like that. I do believe in paying it forward, and I'll tell you a little story. What saved me years ago is somebody gracious, and I'm not going to say whom, but somebody gave me $200, and if it wasn't for that $200, I would have probably been on the street. And that $200, I pay it forward, and I think that's the way people should be with people.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would have been screwed. I've just been totally screwed.
Chris, hang on. Chris Kelling for $2. I missed this super chat. Quoting Monty Python, my brain hurts. Oh, fuck. Tell me about it. Tell me about it, dude. It's like, Jesus, tap dancing fucking Christ. It's like, if I could not have predicted that this shit was going to go south as quickly as it did.
I can't wait to finish animating Jesus Tap Dancing Christ.
That's
fun. I can't wait to see that.
Asher, you have been trying to say something. What did you want to say?
I forgot. It's something about Bull. I'm tired.
If you figure it out.
I think Dave McInnes, put something into words that I've been trying to put into words for months. That's why I got so angry about the situation with Bull, especially because he's put countless hours into producing the show, watching every goddamn dumpster fire, and he has barely been compensated for it, and that is extremely fucked up of me. That is why I'm pissed off. That's the only reason. That's not the only reason. That is my main reason why I'm so upset about this entire situation.
What do you mean? Kyle's doing all the work making the graphics. It's totally not Bull who has to put all those pictures together.
Yeah, no, it's 95%, 95%,
which is the biggest load of bullshit.
Steven,
I do not hate Kyle.
Anybody who's ever ran a channel, how many hours do you think is spent sitting on your ass, emailing people, trying to get guests?
Hang on. Astronomy Live not too long ago said. So my bot. Hang on. So my bot hadn't yet been monitoring non sequitur before tonight. Sorry, at RedsReg, but I do have it monitoring now. It is now archived all current comments and will detect any deletions going forward. So
And
basically,
I can verify that it is on the Discord server where it is now continuously monitoring the Non-Seq show.
perfect. And that way because apparently Kyle has a really big problem with honesty, and we're going to keep him on that. Now, with that being said, I do want to get people to understand one thing about it's still something that we haven't yet discussed, but something that I did want to bring up about what Kyle said. Kyle was saying that, listen, there was no grand master plan to kick Steve to the curb. There was no grand master plan to make Steve do less. It was just a natural progression.
What crap?
What bullshit are you talking about, dude? That wasn't natural.
Stupid,
That was forced.
You gotta remember, he hangs around people that are just not. I'm sorry, they're just not that intelligent in a lot of ways. And I think that he thinks that everybody's like that. Who the hell fuck can't see through that? That's just absurd.
It might be an issue where Kyle's gotten used to the people that he's surrounded himself with, where he can lie so blatantly and just not get. He's been around. Like, if the bar is here and Kyle, like, if the people he's hanging around are here and Kyle is here, but he's forgotten because he's been around these people so much that the bar is actually up here.
Yeah.
It seems like he has very low standards on this. It's like, I just really just don't see how, like, it's bullshit to say that, like, oh, this was just a natural progression. Like, come on. Like, even I've been able to see this sort of thing coming because of my dealings with Kyle, and I sort of could have pointed out that something like this was going to happen. There's been a bunch of trouble with the rationality rules situation, along with many other situations. So, I mean, it's been a pretty crazy time.
You'd think. You'd think.
Yeah. Hang on one second, guys. There is one thing that I wanted to state. It might take a while for me to get everything out, but I'm going to ask that everyone just bear with me. All right. So here's basically what's going on. One suggestion that a few people have made is that this be done in a less public setting. Basically, handle this privately with Kyle. The thing is that we have tried doing just that for months. For months, we have been trying to get Kyle into a phone call to discuss what the hell has been happening with the Non Sequitur show and how we can prevent a shit show from happening. But in that recorded conversation, I don't know when Steve started the recording, but in that recorded conversation, when we finally got Kyle into a private call that was not live, Kyle was like, nope, not doing this. We're not doing this. I'm not having this conversation. He was the one trying to stop the conversation.
Exactly what he said too, verbatim. I mean, you nailed him. I don't know if I caught that part on recording. I don't think I did.
But
he did say exactly how he said it, like verbatim.
Yeah, you caught it. Your recording started actually about like 10 or 15 minutes before Kyle was in.
So
I don't know what you mean. That was
so did it catch that part?
natural.
Yeah. So
that's right. Okay, go ahead.
I need to add something to that too.
Okay.
In the background, we had just tried to do opinionated before, which I found out 15 minutes prior to 8 o'clock that we were going to do opinionated. So I wasn't prepared for that bit. So I had 15 minutes to throw opinionated together, which didn't go out because of YouTube problems that day. Because YouTube was having problems, like you would stream and it would just, like your stream would go into La La Land and never show up on your channel. So opinionated didn't happen because YouTube broke. Now, so Casey and Kyle were in there. Kyle had a link. Kyle decided to leave. And I set up for the debate that was supposed to happen between 33, whoever the fuck that is, and Red's Rhetoric. And since Reds had said Kyle or Steve has to be on this show with me, I just kind of presumed that it was okay to give Steve a link. So I did. And Kyle actually tried to get another link for me for the Flat Earther. And I was not forthcoming with that link because I knew that this conversation was going to happen the minute Kyle came in the room with Steve. I already knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, me too.
So finally I give him a second link. He comes in on the other link that was originally supposed to be for the flat earther, and he basically had given. It's like, why would you not just come in on the link that you had to begin with?
He was trying to avoid the situation.
conversation. He was trying to avoid the situation by giving him a link to a flat earther. And finally we were just like, no, you got to come in first. We're not gonna do this without discussing this. You're not gonna have that option of hiding your embarrassment in front of a flat earther. That's not going to be something I'm going to hand to you. You got to have this conversation, because I'm not going to be a go-between between you and Steve.
Yeah,
I'm just not. That's not something cool.
That's something that I wanted to highlight, because when we tried to get in contact with Kyle over and over and over again, he would do delay tactics. For months, we tried to get him in a private conversation.
He was fixing the SEO.
Yeah, he was busy
I know now
here.
It's a lie, clearly.
Yeah, he was busy. He was going to set everything right. He made all these empty promises, and guess what? These promises were never fulfilled, ever, at all. They were all basically, at this point, I'm just going to call it as it is, they were bullshit stories. So basically, the only reason that we went public is because it was almost like we had nowhere else to go. The only way that this was going to get the attention that it deserves, and the only way that Kyle was going to figure out that this is a fucked up thing to do was to get the public involved. And guess what? The court of public opinion has spoken. What Kyle did was fucked up. And so basically, Kyle wasn't going to listen to anyone other than Kyle in a private setting. Well, now that he has a shit ton of people screaming at his ears saying, Kyle, you're doing all of this wrong, he is now forced to address the situation and his own shitty behavior. That is the thing. Basically, this is putting him the task on, okay, you made your bed, now you're laying in it. Is it comfortable? Oh, it isn't? Well, then maybe we can try and work something out where it's finally something that we can all mutually agree upon, we can all mutually move forward with, and we can make the Non-Sequitur show fucking great again. But I swear to God, I'm going to start selling hats that say #make Non-Sec great again. I think that's a really good fucking idea.
Who killed Non-Sec?
Yeah, who killed Non-Sec?
Kyle.
So we tried to
with
keep
my
things,
with my art of the outline of Kyle on it.
We tried.
I'm feeling sorry.
We tried over and over and over again to have this conversation with Kyle. Kyle did not want any part of that conversation. And so because of that, he forced our hand. He forced this to become a public matter instead of a private one. And now that it has actually gone public, now we're finally getting some honesty from Kyle in some aspect, and that he doesn't want to have anything to do with Steve. He wants Steve to be completely kicked out. Now the truth comes out. Now this thing that, was never part of the plan, well, now we know that it was indeed part of the fucking plan.
And Bool.
Of course. And it's like, at that point, it's like, enough is enough of this bullshit. The truth has to come out.
Well, I guarantee you he didn't expect the chat to support Bool as much as they did, because you could see it on his face, for one.
Yeah.
And for two, because he didn't address it. And for three, because Steve, he can make excuses for. Steve, he's got fucking GE and his wife, whatever her name is.
Who the fuck hates Bool?
Well, yeah, exactly. He has no excuse for Bool.
You can't dislike. No, I don't think it's legal to dislike Bool.
Yeah, exactly. He's got nothing. He's got nothing at all.
Yeah, well, he had no ammo to use on him. Didn't you know that's why he couldn't address it?
Exactly.
I don't think he understood that was probably.
Even when he did try to address it, he just pulled some shit out of his ass that was just wishy-washy garbage.
Yeah, and also it's actually quite humorous that as of right now, the last show that I was supposed to be on was with a flat earther called 33 and Me. As of right now, in a very nice symbolic way, the approval rating on their most recent live stream is 33%.
Damn. Can I?
Yep, go ahead, Ash.
We have one more person waiting to get in the stream, and I'm tired, so I'll give up my seat.
I completely understand.
Pop,
I understand you want to tell people that you want me to be the big spoon. The floor is yours.
Brass can probably drop out if he's done. Thank you, Brass. I do appreciate it,
All
brother,
right.
man.
All right, you
Brass,
guys
you
have a
get
nice
a lot of
night,
crap.
okay?
You're a good man in my book, man.
Yeah, I have a lot of respect for you, Brass. I know we haven't gotten along in the past, but I like
All
you
right,
a
well,
lot.
you guys have a nice night, okay?
Thank you, bud.
Bye. Thank you. Now I'm wide awake.
Brass.
No. Also, out of curiosity, Steve, that I'm not going to name this individual, but that tweet that basically was saying you were defrauding. Did anybody screenshot that, because it's been deleted?
Yeah, they deleted that. No, because I called him on his bluff.
Okay, I just didn't know if anybody
I
screenshotted
shoved up his
that.
ass. And I said, "You're full of shit," because I didn't say anything that would be anyway incriminating. I didn't do anything wrong, and people were actually saying, "Well, Steve is getting money from SSI." Blah blah blah. You have to be 62 and a half to get SSI. You fucking stupid people that are saying that I'm getting SSI.
I spent all day today
Or disability.
in the non sequitur Discord. Bull knows I was there. He was in and out throughout the day. I was there all day, clarifying and answering questions so that way there was not going to be any misunderstandings, and there wasn't going to be any misinformation going around within the non sequitur group. The people who support the show needed to know what was going the fuck on, and it was not okay for them. Like, it wasn't going to be good to leave them in the dark. So I was in there all day just answering. And one of the things that was brought up was Steve's financial stuff and multiple things with that.
Hang on.
That did not fly. That didn't
That was
fly
a trial
at
balloon
all.
that was a trial balloon that they were trying to do, right?
Well, yeah, exactly. But it didn't fly with them.
Well, of course. Do you notice one thing, and then you can continue? Do you notice that when somebody comes into a hangout with half information, like Shannon did, see how it's exponential? It takes 10 times the effort to put out misinformation fires than if people just got their shit correct in the first place. Rez and I have lived this for 6+ fucking years or longer. We've seen it happen where people think they know what the fuck is going on. I guarantee it, they probably don't.
Yep. And also, I do want to read out a $10 super chat. William Pearson, as a gay atheist, this is really sad. I loved Non-Seq, but I have Steve's back 100%. I am so disappointed that someone I thought was part of my tribe has taken an ethical Jilly Juice waterfall. My God, dude, harsh.
I want to read a comment. It's not from the chat, but it is a comment from a video. Michael Nager said, Kyle with his quote, I did 95% of the work, end quote, is full of bullshit.
All right. By the way, hang on. Kyle Frick, you may unmute. There was just a lot of rustling on your end, so I had to mute you. But go ahead.
I apologize. But yeah, so like basically what I've been waiting to say all night is that I owe a lot of the things that I've done in the last year to year and a half, 2 years of my life to stumbling upon the Great Debate Community and then the Non-Sequitur Show. And what disturbed me about this whole situation is that I've made many mistakes. I've made many egregious claims over the time and everything like that, right? But every single time, Steve was like, I'm going to give you an opportunity to, to correct yourself or to explore this mistake that you made, right? And I've seen him give this opportunity to everybody. Well, anybody that was honest about it, right? And what it kind of sucks is that, like, prior to this, right, like, nobody spoke bad about what was going on behind the scenes or anything, right? So, I had David McGinnis, giving me, like, I don't know, like boosting me up, right? And Boolinator, anytime you ask him a question, he's always willing to answer, right? And they're always so nice and everything like that, right? And it brought me out of a fucked up situation, right? Because up until then, I only had my wife telling me that, okay, everything's gonna be good. You're worth improving yourself, right? But that's something I only found in this community. And then I got to say to Reds is that even though sometimes I understand that people get lost in the fact that sometimes you'll troll them, right? Because they get lost on they feel that you came off as an asshole, and then you see an open spot and you're going to take it. And I see that. But the one thing I've seen from being in this community is that that's why I said at the very beginning of this stream, thank you for having integrity, because it was something that's not common on Facebook or YouTube, right? So like the YouTube community, like it seems like when you turn the camera off, you can be a totally different person. But this community was like, no, that's not acceptable. You got to kind of be, you got to be a consistent person, right? And so it just felt like a fucked up situation what's happened, because I placed my faith in this community, and it took me far. So I just want to say thank you to the Davids, thank you to Steve, and thank you to Reds, because the thing is, Reds, you showed me you don't have to be a nice guy to be honorable and integral.
There's a difference between playing a character and being two-faced.
Yeah.
There's a difference between lying to people and presenting a show. We're writing a comedy sketch show. The comments and opinions of the cartoons do not necessarily reflect the blah 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 blah. If you're playing a character, that's the way it is. That's not two-faced. That's not lying to anybody. That's part of the show. You're allowed to show people off screen or off air whatever you want to show them. That's entirely up to you, and that is your goddamn business. Anybody who says otherwise is just full of shit.
Yeah, well, I do want to say I appreciate your words. I am going to read something, but I am going to respond directly to what Kyle said. Mrs. Engineer commented the following on Twitter just now. If you think we're mad because you unsubscribed over us not liking someone you like, we're not. Get over yourself. Our position on this isn't any different than it was yesterday or months ago. You only think it's new because you're being lied to. Eat it up and run. We're fine. I responded to this with a retweet and a comment saying, demonstrate the lie or shut the fuck up.
Do you know how many people have said, "Oh, you lie," and they've never been able to back that up? I mean, the spin control is unreal.
Seriously, demonstrate the lie or shut the fuck up at this point.
Fucking stupid.
Spin control is the reason why I want to hear what Shannon's opinion is.
Now, hear what I'm. Now, hear me out, guys. Hear me out. Now, here's the thing. I try not to talk about this because I don't want people to just assume I'm just tooting my own horn here. But the fact remains that if you are a friend of mine, I will go to the ends of the fucking earth for you. Now, a long time ago, there was a person who fucked me out of a lot of money, and by a lot, I mean $1,200 fucking dollars worth of money that I still have not seen a fucking dime of. I supported that person. This person left a very bad taste in my mouth when it came to helping people. But when another person, who again shall not be named, needed help, I helped them as well. For months at a time, I helped them. And guess what? I got burned again. I am never going to see that money again. Now, but when Bullionator needed help and finances needed to be gathered, and I once again had to pay it forward, I did it again. Because even though I had been fucked over on this deal so many goddamn times by helping people out who I thought were good people, I always had that principle of charity. And you know what? I see that being lost. And here's the thing. It was lost with Steve McRae. And that's really fucking sad, because if anyone fucking deserves it, it is Steve. Honestly. Steve has not fucked me over. Steve has been completely forward and honest, and he has integrity, and that is why I am on his side. And when Bull needed help, Bull has not said anything. He has not done anything against me. He has helped me. He has helped me so much and has offered to help in the future and stuff like that. So with that being said, this is why I do what I do. When I'm an asshole online, I'm just letting you guys know right now, spoiler alert, it's a character. Red's Rhetoric is a character, okay? There's a difference between between Red's Rhetoric and Steven. Steven's my real name. All right,
You gotta sell yourself out like that.
Yeah, I know. There's a difference here.
I've always known that because I love his first name because
I know it's great. You know, kind of thing. You know, there's Steve, there's Steven, there's also Stephen Hawking. You know, there's similarities there. We're all awesome.
Can you guys hear me?
Tom, hang on.
hang
So with all that being said, Red's Rhetoric is a character. When I go online and I'm an asshole to flat earthers, there is some real frustration out there. But in reality, I just like the discourse. I just like the back and forth. I just like the fight with these flat earth dipshits. You know, it doesn't really impact me in my real life as far as, you know, anger, like, oh, Red's this pissed off guy all the time. No, when it comes to Red's Rhetoric, the character, it's just a character. When my friends are actually in need of some serious fucking help, I will always be there for them, unless they fuck me over. In that case, they can go fuck themselves. But
then they're not friends anymore.
Then they're not friends anymore.
Steve Shives is not part of the Steves. We got the good Steves, and then we have the. But no, but he's exactly right. Look, I've told people from day one the way I am on Twitter, no bones about it. And if you can't handle it, block me. Yeah. Don't come crying to me about it later. I'm sorry, but I don't deal with snowflakes very well. That's also in real life. I'm actually pretty the same on or off. People have talked to me.
All right, hang on one second. I promised someone else the link. Tom, I'm not sure how you got the link. I'm curious about that, but Tom, I'm going to give you the floor. I'm going to give you the floor to say what you got to say, but I have to get someone else in the hangout.
What? Hey, this entire thing happened because of my video.
I know.
Kyle even talks about it.
I know. That's why I want to give you the floor.
No, actually, well, it really not. This has been brewing for 4 months, dude.
It's been the catalyst, right? That's whatever.
Your video, which was I'm fine with, had nothing to do with any of this.
What video is this? I didn't even know about it.
Recording.
The one that he specifically refers to as a justification to get rid of Steve. Now, I agree with Steve that there is the other stuff there, and that's just bullshit. But for whatever reason, that set him off. Now, secondly, I'm looking at the super chat. I'm seeing hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and this is Red's channel, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, how about this, Reds? I propose that you make a one-time, immediate payment to one Steve McRae in the amount of $40, so this supposed professional fucking broadcaster can get a new fucking headset.
I've already got somebody buying me one. I already literally
is the one that you're buying not made of tape? Please, dear God, tell me it's not made of tape.
Yeah.
Tell us how you really feel, tape head.
Yeah, I've got covered, Tom. Thank you, though. But
fucking tape.
I just got to find one on Amazon, and they said they'd take care of it. I am
fucking tape.
I hate
tape.
It's ridiculous. I gotta say to Pop.
I got a lot of tape though, dude. You don't understand.
It's tape though.
I'm frugal as fuck. This is why money to me, I can't be bought. I'm so frugal, right? Because I don't have to worry about what Kyle has to worry about. We got deals with all this money now.
Anyway. So
it only works in one ear too.
I'm gonna have to ask one of you to Jet. Who wants to volunteer?
I'll head out.
I just got here.
Christopher, do me a favor. Say what you gotta say, and then get the fuck out.
I'm just gonna say whatever you guys want to plan in the future. I will be happy to contribute art. I will be happy to come on and co-host. I will learn. I will learn how to frickin' produce.
Oh, hey, listen now. You were given the floor, but you're gonna try and take my spot.
Yeah. We're gonna do is we're gonna have a brainstorming session.
We've got completely differing art styles here. I think it would be interesting to merge them at some point.
All right, I'm gonna get my hair cut on that.
I'll just say this, since this has been thrown out by so many people. I need a caricature for an avatar.
You do.
Yeah, let me know your details. Just DM me.
But what I'll do is when we build this, and I have some really good ideas on it, and we get a group of people that each one has contributed, they all get to be, listed and stuff, and it's going to be everybody's channel, as far as input and stuff like that. So it's going to be what Non-Sequitur was, as far as that's concerned. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry I interrupted. Please continue what you're saying.
That's basically all I've got to say right now. The only other thing I just want to say quick is I want everyone who watches Non-Seq, like, and this is coming from a person I liked both ways that Non Sequitur went. I did like the LGBT promoting and all of this, and I also liked the way that it was originally. I liked both. And as someone who likes both sides, I want people who are liking it currently to look at what GE, his wife, and Kyle are doing, because they're manipulating you. These are abuse tactics that they're using, and you can guarantee that if they have no problem doing this out here, after all this has come public and they know that they're in the wrong and can be proven wrong, and they're still going to try and do it, you can be guaranteed they're doing it anywhere else as well.
Yep. And I also got a reply from Mrs. Engineer, but thank you, Christopher. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, and like I said, I know who my loyal people are. I know who have integrity. I know who has honor, and I pay attention to those things.
Yeah, but hang on. We did cut off Tom, though. I don't want to do that to Tom. So, Tom, you have the floor.
Steve, what have you learned from this?
Well, you know what? I've learned that I don't know if I've learned much. You know me.
People are assholes.
Can you understand?
I know people are assholes. I know you can't trust people.
So from my question, right? That I was afraid that something like that might be your answer, right?
I know.
And can you understand?
You had to expect that from me, Tom.
Can you? Right, I did. I didn't want to. I was hoping you would say something else. But you can understand how I would be disappointed in that answer, right, Steve? I'll tell you, right? Because I heard you say to Reds, "Hey, well, maybe we'll do something," and oh no,
like getting in writing.
We'll just do a handshake. Yeah, because that works so well.
I don't want that.
Time.
That's
the handshake.
Right, but Tom, that's not how I want to run something. I'm not interested in the legality.
You want to be able to run something with people.
I want somebody that I can trust, and I thought Kyle was that person.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter,
dude.
I mean, fuck. If you want a written contract, I'll fucking sign it.
Because at the time you trusted Kyle too, buddy.
We could sign it in blood. How's that?
We'll figure something out.
You're like one of these married.
I don't mind getting. I don't mind getting. We'll do something in writing with Reds.
You're like one of these modern married couples, right?
So sorry.
They go. Jeez, Louise, guys, what? You want me to leave? You want me to leave?
With that, Tom.
Everyone.
You guys just have a really weird conception of the definition of you have the floor. What does that exactly mean to you guys?
I'm trying, Tom. Okay, I fucking suck at this. You know this. Okay, everyone. Okay, all right. Dave, do me a favor. Shut the fuck up. Chess. Please shut the fuck up. Please don't hurt me.
Look, you're like one of these couples that goes to the courthouse and they say. They go into the institution of marriage knowing that over 50% of marriages fail, and then they say we don't need a prenup because we love each other.
Well, we do love each other.
So there's something that I want to point out. Particularly in this situation, and potentially in whatever situation Steve gets into next, having a written contract is completely fucking irrelevant.
Yeah.
No,
I think so too. I think it's
absolutely because there's more than one. You want to let me finish now?
Ooh, feisty.
Because there's more than one type of contract. Specifically because there's one type of contract that are all considered legal. All of them are considered legal.
Look, a verbal contract is considered to be binding, but you just fucking lucked out and he admitted to it. Dummies?
Yeah, but you're assuming that he didn't already have. You're assuming that Steve already didn't have receipts of this.
Yeah.
That would constitute some sort of contract that he had, right?
We have more emails than you think talking about this. We have writings. I have him. We've talked about this. So yeah, I mean,
him stating it in an email is just as valid as a contract.
Yeah, I have emails on this, Tom. I got plenty.
Right. But for example, if you had a written document framed on your wall and you sent Kyle one, and it said something like, "Hey, if you ever decide that you want out, you can't just decide that you're gonna have the other person pushed out.
All right, we'll do that, Tom. Okay.
Anyway,
Oh my god, don't cop the attitude with me.
Just
Steve. I'm giving you good
patronizing
advice
you.
here, buddy. All right.
I got tape, motherfucker. I got tape.
You know, get all
You know
up.
what I can do with this tape to a human body? They might like it.
Kinky.
Yeah.
Look, Kyle proved to be a shady guy, right? And it's funny how his on his show he gave you the PC, the publicity reaction and statement, but in that that private call that Steve very smartly recorded, you heard the real Kyle.
Yes,
You
you did.
heard the real Kyle, right? Right, that was the real Kyle, not the public relations. Let's see how many subscribers I can retain. What kind of like statement can I make which a focus group would say would retain the most people and a commitment from all these subscribers and Patreons, right? That was the real Kyle that you guys heard. Okay, just remember that.
No, you're very right. No, Tom, I agree with you. I agree with you 1,000%.
Speaking of agreements, let me read this from Miss Engineer. People seem to think John and I had something to do with this. I wonder why that is. Why are you even involved in this? You're not a host on the channel. It's really none of your business. I reply with funny. Say the same about you. She goes, not really. I'm a host on a channel, but I'm also not doing streams about it. And then I said, I guess you are correct as of 3 hours ago.
Yeah.
So I just want to take this one chance to butt my head in here and give one more ounce of gushing praise. I just wanted before Boolinator is gone or anything like that, I want to thank him personally, thank him directly, because I don't know if anybody knows, but because of him, I was able to actually meet and actually speak to one of my personal heroes. And I thought I had set something up with Kyle to do this, but basically I got iced out, and I would have missed a chance to speak with Parallax Nick if Nicholas Webb, if Boolinator had not went out of his way to get me into that hangout or into that stream. And I just want to say thank you, because it's not often you get to actually speak to and ask questions to someone that you've respected for years and years and years on YouTube, because they do something that's so unique in your opinion. So thank you. And also I wanted to pass the floor to David McGinnis, because he's been trying to get in where he fits in for like 10 minutes, but his Canadian politeness he needs to fucking go punch a moose.
Yep. And then after that, we're gonna hand it off to Agnostic Ozzy. So David, you have the floor.
Yeah, no, I wanted to respond to what Puff said the original time a while back about like thanking people for like building up the community and stuff. And the thing is that's what this fucking community deserves, is people building people up, right? Like giving a shit about people, because they're more than just a voice on the other side of a computer or a bit of text scrolling by on your screen. There are actual fucking people there, right? And just ripping people down and tearing them down is such a bullshit way to treat anyone, right? So like, yeah like you
but Steve does that too, though.
Well, I don't do what Steve does on Twitter, but that's besides the point.
Nobody can do what Steve does on Twitter.
There's a difference between ripping somebody down and ripping somebody's argument down.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I will go after people's arguments, and unfortunately,
Steve will do both.
Steve usually doesn't rip a singular person apart unless they have pushed so far and not dropped the topic so far that they are blatantly being dishonest or something else.
The person I went after the other day in my hangout, my Patreon, had a $50 Patreon that I told to get stuffed, because he was using that $50 to promote his own channel and to promote stuff that I didn't agree with, and he was writing on my coattails, and he was inviting people like Ozzy Amandius, and he was inviting Ronnie Diaz and a few other people that we knew onto his channel, then editing and Frankenstein cuts, and there's all this other weird shit or whatever.
I'll put the link of that video in the chat.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. And so he was using that $50 as a Patreon to have access to me, to basically spew bullshit and promote. Remember the guy, the Duke? I guess I don't know if he's Duke's boyfriend or something, but they definitely have some kind of relationship. And I think that he was offended that I creamed Duke in that debate. And he's been trying for months to try to defend Duke, and just horribly doing it. And I told him, dude, I'm not going to be bought. Take your $50 and shove it up your ass.
Yeah.
And then Kyle tried to go around telling people, oh, Steve told one of our Patreons to shove it. I'm like, that was my motherfucking Patreon, and I will not be bought.
Yeah, and Moving on though, Agnostic Ozzy, thank you very much for being patient with me and us and everyone. But I'm going to give you the floor, and if any of you fucks interrupt him, I'm booting your ass. Go.
All right, thank you so much, Reds. I really appreciate it. Steve, I'm gonna do something that a lot of people might or might not do. A few of the people here have done it already. I am an IT technician with over 25 years experience, and I specialize in network administration, hardware and software maintenance, as well as developing websites. I am offering my full expertise to you at absolutely no charge whatsoever, no hidden fees, nothing at all. No matter what you need done, I will try and help you to the best of my ability.
Okay, I have a webmaster. He's actually in the live chat. Justin is my webmaster. He's been graciously enough allowing me access to the server farm for a couple years now. That's the WW Great Debate community domain. One of the things I'm trying to do is I'm trying to revigorize that particular domain. I got some ideas for it. It's one of the things I actually want to talk to Reds with, but I have the wiki. Remember the fandom wiki that we have for the Great Debate community? I have that in a tarball. I don't know how to unpack and do much with it. I know Justin's been busy with other stuff, but let me get with you later. If you know how to do any of that kind of stuff, I could definitely use some help with that.
Absolutely.
And you got a funny accent.
I'm Aussie. What do you expect?
You guys don't exist. Stop it. That's just British people getting paid to.
Oh yeah, hang on. We're upside down. Hang on.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Steve is gonna thank this person or tell him to fuck himself. I'm holding my breath. I'm not sure what's gonna happen.
Actually, Agnostic, I would like to take you up on your offer. I got some fucking ideas.
All right, Reds.
Yeah, we'll talk. Definitely.
Reds, nice. Deal. Also, Steve has done both, quite literally. I've challenged him at one point, saying that I am an agnostic atheist. Fight me. And then what ensued is a 4-hour live debate where I looked like a deer in the headlights. He's thoroughly owned me.
Agnostic, I'm gonna get back in contact with you later.
He started to come after me sideways, and he did actually go complain to Kyle originally. But I was like, I think this guy could be reached, and we actually had really productive dialogue, right? So I want to have productive dialogues with people. That's not my first thing, is to have things go sideways. Remember that discussion I had with that one guy Tom the other night or Tim for like 4 hours.
Oh God!
I finally had to kick him.
No, I don't want to remember
that. With the same hangout that Chris was in, that I'm like, dude, I don't want you to be a Patreon anymore, and so. I only have so much I can give, but I will go out of my way to help people understand things, even it's math stuff, right? I mean, just whatever it is, even on my own time. I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
The dog is barking in his sleep.
Oh, well, with that, that's actually a good sign that we should totally end this, because it's currently 2 o'clock in the fucking morning, and I want sleep. So let's go ahead and do it this way. Clockwork, we'll start with you. Say what you gotta say and get the fuck out.
I'll sleep when I'm dead.
Sounds real rested.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Sounds good.
Thanks
for stopping by,
Roadhouse, man. Roadhouse.
Thank you very much for stopping by. All right, next we have David, not Bullinator. Say what you gotta say and get the fuck out.
Bed's important.
Oh, thanks, asshole.
All right, peace out. Next, Kyle, say what you gotta say and get the fuck out.
Just want to say, yet again, thank you to the community. Everybody here, like most everybody here, I respect. And also, not only for the shit I've learned, but also, man, you guys helped to socialize me. So, thank you.
Thank you very much for stopping by. Tom, say what you gotta say and get the fuck out.
Yeah, well, I said what I said to Steve. He's not told me to fuck off, so I assume that it actually went somewhere. That's great. Secondly, I am also in the business of starting a new channel. It's called Tom Unboxes. It's incredibly successful so far. It's what everyone is talking about. I can't even go on my main in the Tom Unboxes account. People go crazy. So check it out. I'll put the link in there, and that's it. Bye.
See yous. All right, and Agnostic Ozzy, say what you gotta say and get the fuck out.
Alrighty. I missed Bullionator, but my offer goes to him as well. Also, Steve.
Nope, Bull is still here.
Oh, Bull. Okay, well,
I'm here.
Bull, my offer is to you as well. Steve,
We share a
you and
skill
I
set,
need to.
so I don't know how much I'd be able to use you, but yeah.
Fair call. And Steve, fight me.
I'll play again pool. How about 8-ball?
Oh god.
After
All
3
right.
games.
With that, David, Bullionator, say what you gotta say and get the fuck out.
Well, I have to say that this has absolutely heartbroken me with a lot of the people that are involved, because I had a lot of respect for them. In fact, I was patrons of them originally. Steve, Godless Engineer, and Frankie from the Geek Room, my first 3 patrons that I actually gave money to, and I actually had money to give to people. So, and Sean Hufford, and Red Rhetoric, I was your patron as well. And Sean Hufford, the minute you got monetized, I gave to you. So, I mean, I have so much, and the reason I give money, I'm not tooting my own horn because I supported these people, but I'm saying they are deserving of support. And it really breaks my heart that people that I did respect and had that same mentality towards have gone off the deep end. And this is like a repeat of what happened with Godless Iowan at all. So it really breaks my heart. And
That is true.
All I gotta say. So
Yeah. And Sean Hufford, say what you gotta say and get the fuck out.
I'm still in the same boat. This all came out of nowhere for me because I wasn't in the whole back channels of everything, and this all came up to me last night. Literally, you just sent me a message to get into a hangout. I gave you a question mark. You just said get in here, and then it got laid on me.
Yeah, I'm kind of an asshole like that.
So again, out of left field, there was no way I could have predicted that Kyle would have been this kind of a dick. Last night I was giving the benefit out because Steve made it clear that he's going through some issues and stuff like that. But after hearing about what he did on his live stream tonight, yeah, I'm just going to say that he's just a backstabbing scam artist, dick-headed piece of shit that needs to be off the face of YouTube. That's my opinion of Kyle at this point.
Thank you very much for stopping by. Also, for $2 Australian, I'm just going to read this last one. Remember Sammy Jenkins, Scotty So for another $2. Lawyer up, Steve. You can't let him get away with it. Again, we'll talk about that in private. So with that, Chess, say what you gotta say and don't get the fuck out.
All right. Slippery Slope Show. Well, but also I've had a huge influx of people starting to follow me recently since I started to get more active, and I'm actually gonna have to, once my stuff finishes getting here, because I can't actually do any art yet because half of my stuff is missing. But if and when it actually gets here, I'm gonna have to do something special for all the new people that have been coming by my channel. So I'll have to see what I can come up with. If you guys want to make suggestions, if you want to make suggestions, just fucking let me know. I'm pretty much open to anything as long as it's not illegal.
Oh well, I don't have ideas.
No, there you go. I'll be here then, but I'll mute.
Yes. And Steve McRae, hang on 1 second. Let me just read a $10 super chat from Bob. This should be public. We subscribers are the ones that make the money, and we need to know. Hashtag unsub non-sec.
Yeah, exactly, and I firmly believe that. I'm going to say what I got to say. I'm going to get this fuck out. I'm going to leave you two alone. I'm going to have
no. You stay here too, motherfucker.
Okay, I'll stay. Tomorrow, like I said, during the Non-Seq show at 6 o'clock Eastern, or excuse me, 6 o'clock Pacific, which would be, I guess, 9 Eastern. I'm going to be having a hangout. We're going to go over all the comments from all the different videos. I wanted to show all the support from people on a video, and I'll be uploading the video that Smitty has on my channel tomorrow too. I just want to do some things to it if possible. But I just want to, from the bottom of my heart, this is not the first time schisms have happened. It won't be the last time schisms have happened. We've all survived through schisms. It makes communities stronger. It weeds out the people that are dishonest. It weeds out the people that don't have the integrity that I look for in my circles. So I have a very, very eclectic circle. I have a very strong circle. And I think that Kyle et al. Underestimated the amount of influence and the friends that I have made over the last 6 years, because the comments I'm getting, I'm just blown the fuck away. I have people contacting me that I just have never even heard of, saying the most amazing things. I had one doctor, and then I'll get out. I had one doctor message me, and he's my Patreon now, and he said something along the lines of, Steve, I've been a physician for like 10 years. I've been around the great debate community for a long time, stuff like that. He was like, I've now incorporated stuff I've learned about you and rhetoric, and I mean about not you Reds, but actual rhetoric and argument. And I've incorporated that, and I've learned how to be a better physician to my patients. If that's not one of the greatest compliments a human being could ever get, I don't know really what is. And I think every person that has given me compliments like that, and I will be finding those compliments too in another show. But I want to thank everybody that's been supporting me on this. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So I guess what I'm going to say is I'm really sorry that these last two hangouts have had to happen. I did not see any other recourse at this point. Kyle has basically, taken that choice completely out of my hands. The reason why we went so hard on this is because we only wanted the Non Sequitur show to be the Non Sequitur show that we knew and loved. We wanted the Non Sequitur show to be Kyle and Steve, but Kyle unfortunately had to go in a route of a hostile takeover, which I, for one, find completely fucking absurd. Kyle is not in the right, no matter how he tries to spin it. Kyle is in debt to Steve McRae for a lot, and I'm not talking about just money. And Kyle should take note of who actually supported Non-Sec and what the supporters are actually saying now. So I'm going to end this with a bit of a challenge to Kyle, and we will see if he actually takes me up on this challenge. And that challenge is very simple. The last live stream that you had, Kyle, what I would like for you to do is on air, on the Non Sequitur show, I want you to read each comment. I want you to pick 50 of them at random and read each fucking one of them. I want you to see what your audience is saying, the audience that has supported the Non Sequitur, the audience that has been there for Non Sequitur, the audience that has made Non Sequitur the show it is today. I want you to go through the comment section, and I want you to read the comments. Read what your audience is telling you, Kyle. Your problem, in my opinion, is influence. And right now, you're being influenced by the wrong fucking people. You need to be influenced by people who actually fucking matter, who actually give a damn about the show. And that would be your audience, the audience that has been loyal supporters, both in super chats, in patrons, also through merchandise, whatever the case may be. These people who have actually supported you need to hear their fucking voice. You need to acknowledge their existence. And if you don't, I'll be surprised if anyone follows you from this point going forward.
I don't see how anybody's gonna follow him anyways.
Well, now once again, as I said yesterday, the ball is again in his court. With that, have a good night, people.